Hey crew, how you going? I'm back again. A bit of a delay in doing any videos at all. We basically got websites hacked about 6 weeks ago. I've got a few different servers floating around the world, and the shared one that was in Sydney of all places, local server, well, sorta. Um, I think they got in. Well, I shouldn't say I think. I know they got in at the root level and decided to create a lot of problems. The hosting company obviously won't admit that, but what do you do? So yeah, it was a few weeks in repairing things, backups, a couple of corrupt backups. Obviously, that the clients didn't know they'd been done over before, and it's sort of not a really high level, but it's sort of a small one. So they had files in there that shouldn't have been in there, and anyway, it was a bit of a Aussie slang, dog's breakfast. Anyway, so what I've done, I've been building a tool called SiteWatch Guardian, and SiteWatch Guardian's due to be released in the next few weeks. I'll do a video on it. It's basically a self-healing tool that plugs into WordPress and also has a call home function. Really cool bit of kit. I think a lot of the some of the bigger people have done something similar. I think at the enterprise level, but nothing from a one-man team, so to speak. So a little chuffed on this one. I'm keen to get it out to the market. It's going to be a paid service because obviously they charge, so why can't I charge? Not that it's going to be huge, but mainly for clients that are the mums and dads, small businesses type thing that can't afford a huge amount of coins. So I'll end up doing that soon. Like I said, video coming. Watch this space. Today I wanted to quickly show you another product that I've been building for a while, but just haven't got around to finishing it because, i.e., hack sites. So this sort of comes off the back of like Claude Memory or Claude Mem, I think it's called, on a Git repo. Some chap has actually done it for their CLI tools, and I use Antigravity a fair bit now. My backstory is I'm a PHP dev guy. MySQL, not that there's a great deal of difference between MySQL and SQL. Some will argue that. Look, and I've been working with .NET, and I like .NET. But the learning curve for me has to be quite quick for me because my mainstream job has asked me to build a platform from PHP to .NET. So I've been frantically learning and leaning on AI a fair bit to get it across the line because we're time sensitive and there are deadlines on this. So I can't sit down on weeks on end and bug test and troubleshoot like you normally used to do. So, and don't get me wrong, I love AI. I reckon it's great. Use it, understand it, and it can help you with your daily job and make you work more efficiently and learn things. So what I did was actually build an MCP server, MCP application for Antigravity that actually does memory. So think of it as, RAM and hard disk, so short term and long term, right? So you've got two different things there. So I've called one a hot cache, and it works on an SQLite file that lives in the directory of the Antigravity MCP. So it's always running in the background. And then the hard disk is an SQL server sitting on my home network. So it's my secondary secondary memory stage for my long-term storage. So if I accidentally delete my hot cache, it can go back to my SQL box, rebuild the cache. A little bit of redundancy there, which I like, and you can move on. Now you can be working between different folders, and it's got two tables inside the actual SQL server. It's got project name, and it's also got memories, and it'll lock in and it'll basically tack on memories to each project. So as you go through your sessions in your Antigravity, it will log it if you ask it to. Now the keywords that I set up for this, one is remember, this little guy here, remember, and one is recall. The third one is called forget. Not that you might use it a bit, but I put it in there just in case that you want to get rid of something and you can go, okay, off you go away. So what it does, I've asked if this is just a quick dump from chat. I think I just asked it to give me a short bit of text to throw in there. and it's using Antigravity memory, which is the name of the actual tool. Remember the remember tool to store this note. So go away and store that, and it says it's come back to me and said, okay, I've stored that happy days underneath test project, which is what I wanted to do. And then I basically say, can you go and recall it? So it's used its details. It's come back and says, yep, happy days. The staging DB parser rotates every 90 days. Yay, win, 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 win. So this works in any directory now. So like I said, you can go and create thousands of project directories, and it will look back into its hot cache plus its SQL file. And yes, it does use an LLM, but it's only very small. I've got LMStudio running in the background on my Mac, and it will decipher as it goes from its out of Antigravity into the short-term and long-term. It'll just clean up the text slightly. That way you've got a clean entry going straight into both databases. Done. Cool. And that is it. If you want it, let me know. I'll feed it onto you. Now, no, you don't have to have a an SQL serving in the background. It's just me. I like having redundancy on a lot of my gear. You can just use the hot caching file, and you can back that up onto a thumb drive or whatever you want to do. So it works either way. So it'll decipher. If it's got a SQL server, it'll go. If not, it'll just leave it at that hot cached level. So yeah, if you want it, drop me a note below. Or if you've seen something like this in the already online running, let me know, because I may have duplicated something already out there, knowing me, because I did a little bit of research. But obviously with these things, everyone's doing something like this, for AI, LLM. But yeah, no, I'll leave it at that. Happy days, and talk soon.